So to our third match on day one of competition at the Wang BWF World Championships is another men's singles. It's the number 3 seed Du Pengyu up against Seung-Wan Ho of Korea. So Du Pengyu, China, the number 3 seeds, you can see there. And Sansombunsak awaits the winner of this encounter in round 2. Number 3, playing in only his second World Championships, the 25-year-old from Hebei. And his first ever international title earlier this year when he won the Asian Championships in Taipei. Beats Chen Long in the final of that particular event. Well, this is his 29th week as world number 3. His opponents, Seung-Wan Ho of Korea, also 25 years of age, but conspicuous by his absence in world terms since the Olympic Games, because of course he was out for 9 months of international competition, had to do his military duty. So far this year, he's just played one tournament, and as you can see with his win-loss record, 3-1, he reached the quarter-final of that one event he's played so far. That was the Thailand Grand Prix event. So his world ranking down to 170, do not be fooled by that at all, because it's only his result from the Olympic Games and the Thailand Open are the only 2 tournaments that have counted towards that world ranking. So to Du Pengyu, world ranking of 3, as I say, 29th week, 3 finals so far this year. He won the Asian Championships, which I've been telling you about, also reached the final of the very first of the Super Series events this year, the Korea Premier Super Series, and then the week after the All England Championships reached the final of the Swiss Grand Prix. Well, there's his coach, former world champion Zhao Xuanzhe. So for these 2 players, they'll be meeting each other today for the 3rd time. Previous 2 encounters have both been won by the number 3 seed Du Pengyu. Last time, you can see there, was in the last 16 of the 2011 Macau Grand Prix. 3 games it was on that occasion, but we are talking about 2 years ago. And in those 2 years, both these players have won their first ever major international title. Because of course, as far as Seung-Wan Ho is concerned, last year, surprise winner of the India Super Series event, beats the number 1 seed Lee Chong-wei in the final. Umpire for this one, Chitavut Tankarapat from Thailand, and Uday Sane from India is the service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Seung-Wan Ho, Korea, and on my left, Du Pengyu, China. Seung-Wan Ho to serve, level 3.
So the Korean Seung-Wan Ho getting this first round men's singles encounter underway.
1 love.
And Steen, it's particularly interesting giving your comments during the last match and the defensive qualities of Lee Chong-wei, although he's not a defensive player. but he was wonderful in defence, and comparing his defence to Scott Evans. One of the players on court, to me, Du Pengyu, is very much a defensive player. He's got a wonderful defence, but he doesn't have the same attacking capabilities of Lee Chong-wei. So despite the fact that he's world number 3, I don't put him in the same class, really, as the world number 1.
No, I totally agree with you. Du Pengyu has to work a lot harder to win his rallies. It's not like Lee Chong-wei isn't working hard, but he has the capability of increasing the pace and getting some easy points against lower ranked opponents. Du Pengyu, it's always hard work, so to speak. And actually, I think that Won Sun-ho from Korea has done a little bit of this development that we talked about. Scott Evans, that he should sort of change his playing style for a while. Originally, I think Won Sun-ho was also a quite patient player with a good defense, a good basic game. But when he won this India Open, I think he showed that he could attack actually also.
Yeah, very good point. Because he's always really been living in the shadow, hasn't he, of Lee Hyun-il, twice fourth at the Olympic Games. How heartbreaking is that for a player? The worst possible place to finish fourth, and to do it at 2 consecutive games. But
and then retiring afterwards.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see him in 2014 for the Rio Olympics. Lee Hyun-il back.
Out of retirement for a 4th time, you reckon? He's already retired 3 times. I don't know.
Korean Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, he's back. The way I remember it, Won Sun-ho had to play an awful lot of tournaments to qualify for the Olympics, and lost to Peter Gade in the group play, I believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, the match in quarter 3 will start soon. Please welcome the
2 straight games it was as well.
to the court of play.
And we can see that the amount of tournaments is taking its toll on some players, and also you mentioned that Lee Chong-wei was very satisfied with this period without competition play up to the World Championships. And I think that's a major concern for him, not to play too much.
So a good start by the Korean.
Bit nervous if I were Du Pengyu playing World Championship in your home country. And this is not an easy match, as you said, Jill. Very, very capable opponent.
I'm surprised by your comments, Dean. And the reason I say that, of course, there's pressure because the fans here in China want to see the Chinese players doing so well. But so often, home advantage for an athlete actually lifts that athlete onto a higher plane, and it inspires them rather than intimidates them. But you're suggesting that Du Pengyu may be a little bit under pressure and intimidated by that status?
Yeah, I think so here in the early stages of the tournament, because he hasn't sort of fulfilled the people's expectation to him. He's seeded 3, he's won the Asian Championship, so he should progress, and perhaps there's a lot of audience that doesn't really know Won Sun-ho and consider this an easy match, which it is not. So at the moment he's got everything to lose, he's got nothing to win, he's expected to win this match.
Sure. Later
on in the tournament he will be able to benefit from the support of the audience. For instance, if he should go on to meet for instance, Lee Chong-wei in the semi-final, he will be lifted by the cheering and the support from the audience then.
Missed it.
5, 6.
I should just point out that the scoreboards at the end of the court, you can see the giant scoreboard, appears to have got stuck. I can assure you our score graphics are correct. And just in case anybody's a little bit confused by that. And now it is indeed 6 all.
6 all.
He's got into good rhythm here the last 4 rallies. Du Pengyu actually controlling them, playing at a little bit higher pace than Wang Chunho. Du is also the type of player who, if he gets a little advantage in the rally, he just works on it, keep getting the advantage bigger and bigger until he eventually is able to turn it into a point.
How difficult is it for a player that's been out for such a long time, 9 months? You know, he was ranked 15 in the world. That was his highest ranking, and here he is out for so long. His ranking's dropped to 170. There's no question about his capabilities, but if you're out of the continual week in, week out, month in, month out of world-class play, is it very difficult just to step back in and take up where you left off?
Yeah, I think so. And you miss the match practice, because even though the Koreans probably have one of the best training regimes in the world, match play is different than training, so it will no doubt affect him.
Slightly surprised that Korea didn't use him in any of the Sudirman Cup matches. Perhaps felt he really wasn't ready in time.
They played this young guy, Lee Dong Kyung. Yeah.
This is the problem with so many opponents of Du Pengyu. They run out of patience because the Chinese player's defence, as you've said, is just so good. He gets it back and gets it back, and then you have the belief in your own mind that you've got to hit the perfect shot, otherwise it's not going to be a winner.
Exactly, and that sometimes is shown in the statistics as unforced errors, but it's psychologically forced errors instead.
Yeah. This is 8 straight points for Du Pengyu from 2-6 adrift. To an end.
7-10.
Looks much younger, doesn't he, with his much shorter haircut? Song Wan Ho.
Military cut.
Yeah. side.
Service over. 11-7 into
So a 4-point advantage to the number 3 seed, Du Pengyu, in the mid-game interval in this opening game. Josh runs up. Of course, won the men's singles at the World Championships in Birmingham in 2003. Now, head coach to the men's singles players from China. Look at the power in his legs. That's why he's able to recover so quickly.
Court 1 to 20 seconds. Court 1 to 20 seconds.
And that's something, I guess, Steen, that sometimes people don't understand. They can see a player moving to the shuttle very quickly and playing the shot, but it's often the recovery to get back into the base position ready for the next shot that's absolutely crucial.
And that's what often makes the difference. How good are you at recovery? For instance, the now retired Peter Gale was excellent at recovering from difficult positions, and also Xia Xuanzi, the Chinese coach, excellent, even though he was pretty much an attacking player, very, very spectacular.
Yeah, that winning smash all about placement rather than power.
It looks really good for Du Pengyu right now, leading 11-1 since the score was 6-2 in favor of Wang Chunhu. So the Korean needs to come up with something else now, because otherwise this is going to be just an easy game for Du.
Excellent take.
14-7.
Wasn't a bad net shot from the Korean, but my goodness, Du Pengyu with those strong legs, absolutely ready to pounce. Oh, goodness me. Well, that just exemplifies what you were talking about, Steen.
Service over.
Extremely good recovery from this diving shot here, and the shot quality itself was good. It was impossible for Wang Chunhu to keep up the pressure on Du Pengyu, so he sort of got the rally back to level.
Yeah, more initiative.
China and Yu Han 第二卷。
裁判员澳大利亚赫奈，发球裁判员波兰奥索瓦斯基。
The umpire David Turban, service judge Ostovsky.
Just wide.
10,
Do you think
14.
the net area and trying to be positive at the front of the court is an area that Sung Won Ho should try and exploit a little bit more?
Yeah, but not in the beginning of the rallies. I think it's important that he doesn't just play all four corners equally. I think he needs to find a spot where he's quite safe, where nothing much happens from Du, and then every time he's in a little bit of trouble, just play that corner. And then when that's been established, when he's found that sort of safe play where nothing bad happens to him, then he must try different winning shots and see how can I get through this very, very fast Chinese player. How can I score points? And the net could come into play there. Of course, looking at the match as a coach, you would try to see where's it easier to win shots or to get advantages. Do you get advantages in the forehand or on the backhand side? Try to monitor that during the rallies. That one would be one that went directly into my book. Missed drop shot opportunity and the forehand side at the net. Okay, let's try that one more time and see if it was just unlucky or if not, if Du is not that good in that corner. And he is not that good. I also like Wang Chunho here in the last couple of rallies, putting a bit of height on his shots to the backcourt, sort of preventing Du Pengyu from increasing the pace of the rally unless he wants to attack. Well played.
Very good rally.
14-15.
Wang Chunho sort of neutralized Du Pengyu's fast-paced, attacking, not really attacking, but fast-paced style, playing clever shots at the net and lifting high to the back corners of the court. Interesting situation right now.
Yes, 4 straight points and only 1 point in it. You see, that's the one I would have preferred to see him take, you know, more pressure at the front of the court. Brilliant head shot. It's a good rally again. Missed it. And that could prove to be a very costly error on what should have been a winning smash. Made the error instead of drawing at that level.
We were talking about the net before, Jill, and I wasn't really paying that much attention to it, but I guess you were right. I think Wang Chunho has the better touch at the net. He's at least equal in the right side of the net, seen from our camera angle, and he's way ahead in the left side, the way I see it. must for Du to get this 3-point lead back. Of course, we're looking to close the first game.
Yes, that's good.
18-14.
You always have to admire a player who, come the crunch time, just increases their intensity, plays the big points so well, just gets that little lead at the crucial moment of the game.
Good shot.
Yeah. Disguise on the fast drop shot by slicing across the feathers of the shuttle. This is the one. My goodness, that went down steeply, didn't it?
And that shot, the second last shot, would go into the coach's notebook as well as a way to create opportunities for yourself. Not hitting it hard as Du Pengyu wants you to because he's so fast and he can use the speed against you, but playing it very, very steep instead.
Pushed it long.
And another mistake from the short forehand side
18.
from Du Pengyu.
It's these tight situations, if you're right, Steen, about the fact that Du Pengyu may be feeling the pressure, the expectation, the burden of expectation. This is where we maybe see a few nerves. All credit to him.
Yeah. I feel the last, perhaps the last, what's it called, brick, piece of the puzzle for Wang Chunho is to figure out, should I play Du Pengyu in his forehand side or his backhand side at the back court. He's tried a lot to the backhand side and he makes some errors and plays too short, so it should be the forehand side that he's choosing. As long as it's high lifts, it could go to the backhand side, but the flat ones are not good.
Service over. 17, 19.
Still a lot of work to be done in this opening game.
Way too short from Du Pengyu. Excellent shot by Du Pengyu, but terrible play from Wang Chunho. Once again, too short in the backhand corner, giving away opportunities.
Exactly what you were talking about. Well, with that cross-court smash come 3 game point opportunities. And the number 3 seed from China. for it. Big intake of breath at the end of that rally from Du Pingyu, and I suspect that's a relief as just as much as perhaps the toll of the pace and length of that final rally. But he will be mightily relieved that the opening game is his. And he's pacing up and down. 21-17 in scoreline of that opening game. So Charles runs up. Well, never gives much away, does he, as a coach? Never changes his expression.
He will, of course, have done the same observations as we've done for Bang Chun-ho here. Been noticing how can Du score his points. Where is it safe to play? Excellent pictures there.
Hot 1 to 20 seconds. Hot 1 to 20 seconds. Second game, level play.
Well, this is where we really see whether Sung Won Ho of Korea is back to his match fitness. And because having worked so hard for that opening game, but failed to get any result out of it. Du Pingyu, of course, having taken that opening game 21-17. It's not just match fitness, though, is it, Steen? It's belief and getting that belief back.
Yeah, exactly. I was just wondering about it, because the important thing for a coach here is, for the Korean coach here, is to sort of bring back belief to Bang Chun-ho that it's actually okay. I mean, he couldn't expect to win this in 2 straight games, and he's got a feel for the stadium, and he's got some good rallies to think back on. So now we need to increase these good rallies, and then everything will work out fine. That's should be the words from the coaches.
Yeah, sudden injection of pace. Not so much pace of shot, but pace of movement from Sung Won Ho. Yeah, now you see, that's the aggression at the net. Given the right opportunity, that I felt was lacking a little bit from the Korean in the opening game.
Yeah. It's amazing how difficult it is for Du Pingyu to return these soft smashes accurately. He's so used to fast smashes. So here he needs to judge the pace himself, and that's not so easy.
good shot.
Service over. 2-all.
It's interesting, our discussion here about confidence and obviously for a player that's played so little over the last 12 months as the Korean has done, but perhaps we ought to bring into the equation the fact that Du Pengyu, his last 2 tournaments that he played, the Indonesian Super Series and the Singapore Super Series. In Singapore, he was the number 1 seed and lost in the second round. He was the number 3 seed in Indonesia and lost in the quarterfinals. So didn't do as he was expected to do. And I just wonder whether perhaps he was in a very hard training period in the build-up to these World Championships. And there may be a very good logical reason why he didn't perform in those last 2 Super Series tournaments. But I also can't help but wonder whether that has dented his confidence a little bit, that coming into this he hasn't had a good run of tournaments.
Yeah, especially since him being a little bit new into this, being in contention in the World Championships. I mean, if it was Lin Dan or Lee Chong-wei, I don't think it would have affected them as much, but it could have a little influence on his confidence here. And I don't think the Chinese, of course, they didn't go all out to do well in Indonesia or Singapore, so I think they didn't bother that much. But it could be important to some of the players, and yeah, as a coach, you don't always consider that it's important to win matches. You build confidence from winning matches.
Yes.
5-2.
But also there's the knock-on effect, isn't there? Because, you know, all the other players in world badminton will know that Du Pengyu lost in Singapore to Mark Schwiebler, lost to Hayum Rembaka in Indonesia, and those are players that a player like Sung Won Ho will know that he can beat those sort of players. So if they can beat Du Pengyu, then all of a sudden you have that belief, I can beat him too.
Yeah. And you will have tough matches all the way in the tournament because everybody thinks that they can beat you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Lee Chong-wei, you know that if you're not in top 5 in the world, you're not going to win this match. And your approach and when you come on court is different, and you get so many free points.
Yeah.
On that account. Clever shot from Du Pengyu here. Also not a very hard smash. Way too high defense from Wang Chun-ho.
Nice net play.
6-4.
Yeah, Wang Chun-ho definitely has the upper hand in touch at the net.
But I remember one net exchange in the opening game, and Du Pengyu absolutely pounced on a net shot, played it brilliantly. And it seemed to me as if Sung Won Ho just lost faith in playing that area after that, and it's taken him a while to say, no, I know I'm the better player on the net play, and I've got to have the courage to play that area.
Yeah, you just sort of do violence on your own perception of the game because you feel that this is an uncertain area where it might just be coincidence, or if it really is an uncertain area, you must make it certain again by changing other parts of your game. The same happens often when you're unable to find the baseline because of drift or fast shuttles or something like that. You can't say, no, I'm not playing the baseline. You have to be able to find ways to play the baseline. There's a lot of shots from Du Pengyu's forehand side that goes towards the middle of the court or to the forehand side of Wang Chunho. So definitely think Du prefers to play on the left side of the court. Easy for him to cover his backhand and sort of see if he can get into an attacking mode there.
Service over. 5-8.
Good elevation on the jump smash. Going for steepness and angle rather than power.
Two good rallies by Du Pengyu here. You can see that Wang Chunho is a little bit uncertain, a little bit passive in his low backhand and low forehand from the baseline. So if Du is able to catch him there, there's a lot of opportunities on the following shots.
Just wide.
Service over.
Little look from Du Pengyu.
9-6.
Well, I'm sitting looking directly down that line, and I concur with the line judge. I thought that was wide by a whisker. Another net shot sat on the top of the net before trickling over. Oh my goodness, Sun Wen Ho probably had to play 6 or 7 extra shots in that rally. I thought he had a short lift where he should have put it away, but couldn't.
No. He's so good in the defense, Du Pengyu, and I think both players showed great patience in this rally, because then suddenly Wang Chunho changed his mind and said, "Oh, this is an equal rally here, so I've lost the attack." And then he got lucky, I think twice on the net. Excellent by Du Pengyu. Very, very fast in the flat game.
7-10.
And good final placement towards that right hip. Good defense. Ooh, overdone it.
10-10.
Umpire allowing both players to towel down and take on board some liquid while the court is mopped of the perspiration. And of course the players taking longer than the court attendant, and when you're so close to a mid-game interval, what's your feeling on that, Steve?
Yeah,
difficult one, isn't it?
It's a difficult one. It's up to the umpire. Unfortunately, there's a lot of different umpiring going on. Some will allow it and some won't. Some will have the guts to stand up to the players, and some will not do that. It's a very, very important moment of the match right now.
And quite frankly, that goes down as a really rather hideous miss.
Yeah. Or a psychological error, because that was exactly the same opportunity he had in the rally, 2 or 3 rallies.
The really
before.
long one.
Yeah.
Good point. Another error. And he was spot on.
3 very important points for Du Pengyu here. Not letting his opponent create a gap at the interval.
Service
Just long.
11-10 interval.
So it is Sung Wan Ho who has the narrowest of possible advantages. The mid-game interval of game number 2, but I suspect, Steen, your point about the fact catching up from 6-10 down to 10 all, now there's only 1 point in it. He'll come out afresh, Du Pengyu, from the mid-game interval, and that real belief is back.
Yeah, and if they go neck to neck until 18 all or 19 all, he sort of benefits from having the first set in the bag. It's difficult if you're behind 16, 19 and there's not so much tension as it's 18 all. If it's close, you can benefit a little bit psychologically from having won the first game. On the other hand, Wang Chunho should still be satisfied that he's leading. He's in it. After losing the first game, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like 11-5 or something like that. You can dream of it, but realistically, it's closer. So it's going to be hard work from here if he's to go out the winner of this match.
Oh, just long. That's a pity from Sung Wan Ho's perspective. There's a lovely little skill from the net. Look at the racket head here. Brushes across the shuttle. Just a fraction long. Good call by the line judge. So level once more. Just senses an absolutely crucial little phase of the match here. Next half a dozen points or so. Next 3 rallies.
On Du Pengyu now, saying that from his long forehand corner, when he's under pressure, it's a cross, and when he has a bit more time, or actually a lot of time, it's normally straight shots. So it could be crucial information if you could pass that on to your player as a coach. And if you're right, of course.
Word.
That was really an important point for Wang Chunho there, because he really looked tired in this rally, I thought. So I feel had he lost that, it would have been devastating for him.
That's nice too.
14-12.
If you play, when you play a player that has a good defense or an excellent defense like Du Pengyu, it's also a bit of a mind game, because if you attack too wildly, you get outplayed by the defensive player. But if you can attack patient and sort of turn all your attacking opportunities by attacking a little bit more patient, if you can turn them into winners in the end, you will put a lot of psychological pressure on the defensive player, because he feels like, well, I can't really match this guy's offense.
Nice proper placement of the smash going towards the right hip.
This rally, he managed to sort of outmaneuver Du Pengyu, and if he can do that 2 or 3 times more, then there's no doubt that he will become uncomfortable, and then must try something else and perhaps attack a little bit more himself.
Hesitation from the Korean. Immediately after he made the error, looked back down towards that sideline. Wonders in his own mind whether he should have played it or not. I suspect he was right to play it. I thought it was landing in.
Yeah, but it could be situations like this, having not played for a long period of time, that you sort of hesitate too much, and they could be really decisive when looking back at the game. It's not that many points that are separating these two players.
Yeah.
I think Wang Chunho is making a little bit more of these quite easy errors compared to Du Pengyu. Good lift. By the two players, both of them. Jill, no matter how this match is going to end up, I think we're going to see Wang Chunho back in the top of men's singles within a short while.
Yeah, I do hope you're right on that, because I think he's a player to me that's never really fulfilled the undoubted talent that he has. 14-15. That's a lovely neck shot.
Service over. 16-14.
Let the shuttle drop a little bit low. Looked as if he was going to lift it.
It's very efficient against Du Pengyu to put a little deception on your shots from the front court.
Goodness, that could be a costly miss.
Excellent read from Du Pengyu, but I think it hit the net. It's a tackle shot. Yeah, it took the net. Just touched the net and went into the air instead of downwards.
Ready. Du Pengyu will have to serve again. Back level. When you're a little bit tired, it's the touch shots that tend to go first. Unjudged, a little slow to react,
17.
pulling it long. Correct call. Very, very good rally.
18, 16.
And the Korean, Sung Won Ho, just 3 points from forcing a third and deciding game.
女士们、先生，4号场地的比赛即将开始，请裁判员、运动员
to the court of the flag.
2, 4.
Goodness me. Well, that is a sign of nerve, surely. Du Pengyu in his own mind blaming the shuttle, asking for the shuttle to be changed.
Wang Chunho is surely taking his time here, and we can see that Du Pengyu just wants to play. Come on, let's play.
Yeah. Someone Ho of Korea has 4 game point opportunities to level this first round encounter at 1 game apiece.
发球裁判员泰国通塔普。
The umpire TOP Andrew Malaysia. Service judge Arising Ponta, Thailand.
Converts on his first opportunity, and almost a stunned silence from the crowd here at the Tianhe Gymnasium in Guangzhou, because it is 1 game apiece. The number 3 seed Du Pengyu of China is perhaps in a spot of bother, because Song Wan Ho has taken the second game 21-16. It's 1 game all.
스매싱 통통 크기밖에 못 치는 거야. 응? 네가 계속 뛰어, 네가 실수가 없었으면 계속 뛰어줬기 때문에. 그러다가 봐, 그 고비 넘기니까 한두 개 넘기니까 네가 찬스 볼이 나왔는데 네가 스매싱 몇 번 되니까 어? 그러면 계속 뛰는 수밖에 없어 한국이, 그렇지? 어? 계속 따라붙는 거야. 그러니까 봐, 찬스 볼이 오는 거야. 그래서 마지막 지금 처음에 들어오면 제가 좀 빨리 나올 거란 말이야. 어? 거기에서 카운트 빨리 네가 따라가면 힘들어. 네가 하면서 방금같이 네가 올라가면서 자꾸 따라오더라고. 그래.
At least
너무 이렇게 해갖고 달팽이 밑에서 이렇게 놓지 말라고 그냥 이렇게 나. 어? 그러면 밑에 잡으면 이제
15,
앞에서
16 all, and then suddenly 5 points slipping
결국에는
away
방법이
just like that.
계속 뛰는 수밖에.
And that's
뛰다
of
보면
course
찬스가 나고 찬스
worrying.
나면
Whereas
이거 한 번씩 때려주고
on
그러면
the inside, this
알지?
game actually went exactly like they hoped.
그래도 많이 지쳤다고.
Slowly work your way into the match again, and hopefully take this game. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be close, and then go for it in the third here. So I think Du Pengyu needs to try to increase the pace a little bit more, play faster. He will get his opportunities. If he could make a few deceptions from the front court and get Wang Chunho to play the lower shots from his forehand or his backhand side at the back court, there's a lot of opportunities there for Du Pengyu. And of course the flat game, I don't recall any flat game rally that he hasn't won.
Final game.
There might be some, but I definitely feel he has the upper hand in the flat game.
So here we go, third and deciding game. Someone home nearest to us, the number 3 seed and Asian champion Du Pengyu, far side of the court. That's landed in.
Coming forward. 1 go.
Excellent play.
Go.
Very interesting. I'm thinking back to some comments you made in the second match, Steen, about Scott Evans and having to develop his game and learn a defensive game. Applying it to this man, Du Pengyu, to me, he so relies on his physicality of chasing every shuttle down, you know, and to me, there's been a number of opportunities to do that. He should have been doing that earlier in the match, using his winners.
And I think actually he's improved from the last time I saw him in his forehand corner, because he was quite weak. Now he has not natural shots, but still shots that can hurt you from that corner. So he's definitely improved.
Yeah.
Service over. 1, 3.
I'm afraid I haven't been able to work out his drift yet. That one seemed to be flying very fast towards us.
You're reading my mind.
Did you think that was wide?
Yeah, but not sitting really well to see that line, so I guess we must trust the line judge.
Looking at it again, I think the line judge got it absolutely right.
Yeah. Thinking of the first game where Wang Chunho played very, very short. I believe the wind is coming from Du Pengyu towards Wang Chunho.
So flying faster, coming towards us if we're looking down on the court. Okay.
But it definitely isn't as much wind as we've seen in some stadiums where it's like everything about the game is about controlling the wind. I feel that the players can play more freely here without having to worry about it all the time.
I would have given that a bit of a hit. It was too close to the line. It was a good judgment. It was out. But I think in my mind as a player, I probably wouldn't have had that courage. I think I would have given it a good thump just to make sure anyway. I just sense, Steen, that this may be just Du Pengyu just stamping his authority, pulling away. Do you feel that?
Yeah, it seems like he's got the better side of the court right now, and it would be important for him to build a good lead. That's it. Move towards the net. from Wang Shunho
Service
there.
over. 3-6.
This man never previously beyond the second round of a World Championships. Song Ran-ho. Years ago, Korean lost out to his teammate Park Sung-won. What on earth happened to Park Sung-won?
We haven't heard from him since,
No.
I believe.
No, it's just long.
Service over. 7-3.
女士们、先生们，3号场地的比赛即将开始，请裁判员、运动员入场。
Ladies and gentlemen, the match in quarter 3 will start soon. Please welcome the technical officials and the athletes to the court of play.
Serve is short of the mark.
4-7.
Well, so much for my theory. What did I say at 6-2? I thought Du Pengyu was just stamping his
pulling
authority.
away.
And not at all. Shows
And
what I
again,
know.
it's a little bit of a bad sign for the dude that he's not able to sort of capitalize on this.
Competing in quarter 3 of men's singles are Villa La, Finland, and the next two
Put it in.
actors,
That's a
Denmark.
great shot from Du Pengyu.
比利时范霍贝克，发球裁判员日本野野孔二。
The umpire, Kurt Van Orenbeek, service judge, Ichi Nonoguchi.
Short. Oh, he's got it back. My goodness me. And then lifts long. What a shame.
9-5. Service over. 6,
One of these
9.
soft shots that puzzles Du Pengyu.
Hour and 10 minutes this has been in progress already. And even halfway through the third game. Shuttle got deflected by the net cord. Just feel that Du Pengyu needs to do more, take more initiative. At the moment, he's just been reactive.
Yeah, he's getting sort of sucked into Wang Shunho's playing style. simply not able to kill it as long as it's a very, very high lift.
Oh, that's brilliant. Goodness me.
9.
Superb cross-court net shot from Son Wan Ho. That's great control. Oh, the crowd quite trying desperately to lift Du Pengyu.
Got a little deception on the shot there as well. Really useful. Takes away half a step from the Korean.
Service over. 9, 10.
And he stopped taking, he stopped going for his opportunities. He stopped seeking the chances, Du Pengyu. No follow-up on that attack straight down the line there.
One game all, 10 all. Who's going to have the advantage at the change of ends here in this deciding game? Du Pengyu, narrowest of possible advantages at the mid-game interval as the players change in for a final time. Yeah, just far more positive in that rally. Hour and 14 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day this is the longest first round
Court 1 to 20 seconds.
match encounter of all
Court
the
1 to 20
disciplines.
seconds.
It will be.
Yeah. So it could not be closer.
Good follow-up.
It's amazing to think that this man reached world number 3 before he had actually ever won a title.
He's very, very hard to beat, so he's very stable.
Yeah. I suppose my statement isn't strictly true because he did win the World University Championships, but that doesn't go towards world ranking.
See that short service in the middle of the net.
What was that you were saying earlier about nerves?
Yeah,
Yep.
I've seen him squander 8 match points against Jano Jorgensen in Malaysia, so I know he's not totally in control of his nerves. Let's see if he can do it here. Good bounce back there,
Yeah, that was important.
14-11.
even though it was close to going long. That would have been devastating.
The court will need to be mopped of the perspiration. Look at the two coaches there. What a contrast. Yeah, what were we also talking about earlier about recovery? When you're out of position to be able to get back into position again.
He's so fast, this
Yeah.
Du Pengyu. Still think the faster the pace of the rally, the bigger his advantage.
Just wide.
15-11.
Well, maybe this is the decisive break. I said that before.
And it's a matter of getting this feeling that I'm going to win this match.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to say how big a lead it takes. It could take 3 points, it could take 5 points or 8 points, but Du Pengyu needs to get into this. I'm going to make it. I'm going to pull this off.
Yeah. Credit to Du Pengyu because he's just willed himself into a more proactive style, taking more initiative. But I have to say, Steen, I have been a little bit disappointed in Son Wan Ho because it was at 12-10 when Du Pengyu served into the middle of the net, and he hasn't really picked up on the vibes that his opponent is nervous and really made him work and work and work. There's been too many gifted points from the Korean.
Yeah. But we also have to give credit to Du Pengyu because he attacked the next service and got a winner, and he had an excellent defense in the rally after that, and sort of recovered really quickly. So he's done something to deserve this. We saw him cheer a lot getting to 17 here, and now it's going to work out for him. he's going to win this match.
11.
My goodness, it's been hard work though, hasn't it?
Right.
19-11.
Just 2 more points required for Du Pengyu to see himself safely through to the second round.
Service over. 12-19.
Trying a little bit too hard there.
The error from the Korean,
Match point.
and it
12.
means that Du Pengyu, the number 3 seed from China, on the verge of victory. 8 match point opportunities.
Service over. 13-20.
Big problem for Wang Chunho is that he hasn't really scored a point himself here in the second part of the third game. 3 points coming from errors from Du Pengyu.
This time, an hour and 25 minutes. And the number 3 seed Du Pengyu of China is safely through
Match
to the
won
second
by
round.
Du Pengyu. 21-17, 16-21, 21.
Yeah, the umpire just confirming the score, 21-17, 16-21, 21-13 in the third and deciding game. So Du Pengyu of China will have to play against Thanornsak Sansompoonsak of Thailand in round number 2. Well, how lovely to see Son Wan Ho back and playing well once more after his absence from the World Tour. There is confirmation of the score and Du Pengyu's victory.